Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to start the day off in this lovely venue for the Big Data Coronaviruses at Multiple Scales workshop. At Zoetis, we're very proud to be able to sponsor this workshop and look forward to a good discussions throughout the rest of the couple days that we're here on coronaviruses. Special thanks also to the UK International Coronavirus Network for the annual meeting here. So I'll start with a little bit of an introduction and then we'll get into this morning's session. I mentioned I'm from Zoetis in the United States in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is where our R&D headquarters is. Zoetis has been around in various forms for about 70 years. We officially spun off from Pfizer Animal Health in 2012. We provide vaccines, diagnostics, pharmaceuticals, biopharmaceuticals, precision animal health and biodevices for the veterinary community. Our annual revenue is about $8.1 US billion, and we have 7 different product categories in all major species. We have a market presence in about 100 different countries and have about 29 manufacturing sites around the globe to provide those products. The group I'm in is in our research and development organization. We have about just under 1,500 colleagues, and all total about 13,000 colleagues spread around the globe. Our purpose is to nurture our world and humankind by advancing care for animals. I just wanted to touch on a couple of our priorities that are germane to the meeting here today. One would be our leading through innovation. And powering our business through digital solutions and data insights, which is why we're very excited to be able to host the Big Data workshop today. But one of the goals is advancing sustainability for animal health. And I'm the chair of our Center for Transboundary and Emerging Diseases. In our company, this is a coordinating hub that brings together everything from our global surveillance network to our research and development organization, our manufacturing and supply, and our US and international business operations, with the goal to surveil and help mitigate the impacts of transboundary and emerging diseases. One of the important areas for our company is the topic of One Health. Collaboration across multiple organizations to try and advance not only environmental health and human health and veterinary health. The key area here is the diseases that can jump between livestock, domesticated animals, wildlife, and humans, and go in that cycle between them from reservoirs to end hosts. There's a number of different diseases that we're interested in. A few are shown here on this slide. We'll be talking, of course, about an example of these being coronaviruses. Of course, COVID-19 has been in our world the last couple of years. It's been a big topic. It'll take up a number of the talks, but we also don't want to forget about many of the other coronaviruses that are important. Just a couple examples of those shown here. Of course, there are 4 different groups of coronaviruses: alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. Some of the important pathogens within each of those: alpha coronaviruses, of course, porcine epidemic diarrhea virus. That was a big disease, ran through Asia, ran through North America a few years back. A number of examples of important diseases in the beta coronaviruses. From the beta 1 coronaviruses, a number of human common colds viruses. Bovine coronavirus is another good example here. Of course, the beta 2 coronaviruses, we're all intimately familiar with SARS and SARS-CoV-2 now. Beta 3, your example there is MERS. Over in the delta coronaviruses, not quite as prominent, but swine Delta coronavirus is a good example of a Delta coronavirus. And then the gamma coronaviruses mostly infect avian species, IBV, and turkey coronavirus. They're two good examples there. So we'll be talking about a number of these coronaviruses as we go throughout the next couple days. But on the topic of big data, I decided to ask ChatGPT the following question. Describe the challenges of big data in mitigating the impact of zoonotic diseases. It's quite an interesting answer. Using artificial intelligence, here's the response. I won't read through the whole thing. But mitigating the impacts of zoonotic diseases using big data presents several challenges due to complex and dynamic nature of these diseases and the massive amounts of volume involved. So ChatGPT identified 10 different challenges associated. You can see them there. First and foremost is the massive volume of data. How do we manage that, sift through it, and find those needles in the haystack that are important that can help mitigate these diseases and their transmission through mammalian species and humans? Quality of data, privacy and security concerns. How do you integrate the data and get real-time analysis? Data is often found in different types. So how do you make that data interoperable and then use it to predict when the next outbreak is going to be? Of course, we all have resource constraints. There's ethical considerations, and hopefully leading to a lot of cross-disciplinary collaboration, which meetings such as this will help foster.